It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Spinelli. I'm filling in for Jim Quinn and or Anthony Fanucci. I don't know which one it is. Neither could make it tonight. I am here tonight with Robert Dragota. Robert is president of the Bay Atlantic Symphony Foundation, or of the
orchestra.
And Bay Atlantic is a stronghold in South Jersey. They perform in Cape May, Cumberland, and Atlantic County that I know of. I don't know if they go anywhere else.
We have gone to Salem this year. We played it in the Salem community. Ventnor, Margate, Cape May, No, we didn't do Wildwood this year. But, and then always at Stockton.
Always at Stockton.
And always at Cumberland.
So they have a series, a concert series that they have throughout the season.
Correct.
And they are selling season tickets for those things. What's the cost?
For
to buy
a season
ticket?
It's $35
a show.
A show.
Okay.
$30 for $90, basically.
All right, $90. All right, and it is such a golden goose for culture, and it's something that we desperately need. I know in Salem County as well as in Cumberland County. Cape May and Atlantic probably have a little bit more because they have more entertainment, but they don't necessarily have anything of that nature.
No.
And there is an educational component as well to the symphony, where they go into the schools that allow them, and they teach the kids how to play various different instruments. And it's interesting because my grandson, who does not live locally, is in Maryland, and he is picking up the violin.
That's interesting.
I played keyboards when I was young. We didn't have anything like that. My parents paid for lessons for me to go, but the school has professionals come in and teach them the various different instruments, and he can pick out what he wants to pick out eventually. So he thinks he's leaning that way, but we're not sure. So, but
any knowledge of music is very valuable. It really helps even in math.
Yes.
Because your quarter notes, your half
notes,
it's all mathematics.
That's exactly right.
And I play the piano a little bit and
a lot, because I've heard you play. So.
I play a little, and it really did help me. I was terrible in math, and then when I started in 6th grade, and my second teacher was Bobby Carter. He used to play. He taught in Millville, and he played with one of the Dorsey. I can't remember Tommy or the other Dorsey brother.
Right.
But he was their pianist.
Oh wow.
He was really good, and he taught me. But the symphony, I've been on and off with the symphony. In fact, we celebrated 40 years last year.
Right. Exactly.
And just 2 weeks ago, Alan Woodruff, who was one of the founding fathers of the symphony, passed away.
Right.
And that's a big loss for us. Alan was a stellar community member,
right,
for the whole area.
Well, I know Mary. So,
sure.
And I know Mary's been at the concerts because I've talked to her. Believe it or not, nothing to do with the symphony did I know her. I met her in the gym.
Oh, no kidding.
She would go over to
South Jersey.
It used to be NovaCare.
No, right.
And we would go out in there like 6:30 in the morning before patients got there, and we would work out. And I tell you what, for a lady her age, she walked on a treadmill for hours. and it was just unbelievable. So
she's an amazing lady.
Yeah,
and
she
Bob,
is.
of course, is has been treasurer of the symphony now for several years. He's been president. So the symphony, and Jed, of course, is a huge asset for the symphony as the maestro.
Right.
But there's nothing like what the symphony does in May. Is we give the May concert. We do a brief concert and we fill the Landis Theater twice.
Twice with kids, right?
Well, I'm sorry. Used to be the Landis Theater. Now we do it at Cumberland County. But the kid, I have it taped. It's amazing to hear these kids. They go crazy when they hear this.
Right. Yeah.
And then Jed explains
Everything to them.
Yeah, how the instruments work together and what the process is, and
believe it or not, I mean, let me know when they do it, because I would be interested in seeing how they synchronize everything.
Right.
That would be really neat.
Yeah, and so he does this in Vineland and in Atlantic City.
Right.
We'd like to extend it to other, towns like Millville, Salem. I get people some students from Bridgeton can come in,
Right.
and as long as there's room.
I can put you in touch with Tony Changone, who's the superintendent
of
Millville.
Okay.
You
work there?
Yes, and they have Lakeside Middle School has a great auditorium for sound. It is one of the best. So that would be a no-brainer.
I don't know whether you've read, but a lot of the orchestras and the classical orchestras in the world are suffering right now.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, the New Jersey Symphony had to cut back their season this year because it was so poorly financed, and it's a struggle because the arts, especially culture and classical music, is not attended and it's not as known as it used to be.
Right.
But it's so important for a student and for students to understand the music and to understand how it's done.
Right.
It's.
I found it interesting. I know as I was growing up, I actually started out on the accordion.
Ah, okay.
And I moved up to a quarter box, which sounded like an organ, but it still was an accordion. And the electronics on it were awesome. But I got good enough that I could substitute for my teacher, who was Sam Trasferini. And Sam was the teacher for accordion music. And he played in a couple orchestras locally. And I would fill in when he couldn't make it because, as he got older, he wanted to go to Florida and stuff. Right. And I kind of got in and said, wow, this is crazy. I mean, because you got all the horns and, and everything else on the big band sounds, And you start to, as much as I like popular music, you get, one, it's hard. It's hard to follow because you have so many pieces. And two, you get the appreciation for how talented these people really are. And that's why when Josie and I attend, I said, a lot of it's not my kind of music. I couldn't tell you one symphony from another probably, but I can appreciate how talented they are. And I just watch what they do and how they do it. And it's just absolutely amazing. So, I would tell everybody, listen, if you might not like the music, you might, but go at least once and see it and hear it.
It's amazing how many, if you listen, kids in Saturday mornings, I don't know whether they still do it, but so many cartoons have classical music behind them.
Yes.
All of that is classical music.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, when you think of William Tell Overture.
Right.
You hear that in cartoons all the time.
Right.
So it's for me, it was kind of fascinating when I started to study music and I only studied piano, but I got very interested in it because it was such a lift for me. I was able, it lifts you away from,
it's
your
an
normal,
outlet to, and
exactly.
And again, like I said, I sit there and listen to it, and I try to sit down and figure out what everybody's doing, and as an ex-musician, you always keep a beat.
Absolutely.
So,
your foot's always
right,
going.
Your foot's always going.
Yeah, mine too.
And you just look, and then like I would always turn around and say, well, what's the maestro really do? I mean, they all read music. They're all very talented. And how does he keep them together? And that's very, very interesting. And it's a dynamic that I probably still don't understand because never having been a part of it.
Right. Well, and Jed is incredible.
Yes, he is.
To watch him on stage, he's fascinating to watch.
Yes.
So it's really great. So we're an organization that has done well. We've always sort of met our budget.
Right.
And it's been a challenge since COVID.
Right. COVID has hurt a lot of things.
Yeah, and attendance is down.
Right.
So if you are at all interested, the audience out there, please let us know. And if you want to come, we'll make sure that you get tickets if you want to try.
Who do they contact?
They would contact the Bay Atlantic Symphony.
Is it online?
Yeah, you can do it online.
Okay.
BayAtlanticSymphony.org.
.org. All right, so everybody, if you're interested and you want to try it and listen to it, and I tell you, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So many talented musicians and singers, because you guys bring singers in, tenors in, and things of that nature, and some big names.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In fact, next year I'm working on. I have a friendship with Emmett Cahill, who is an Irish tenor. And he sings with there's an Irish group that goes around the world dancing and singing, and it's very well known. Anyway, Emmett, we're finding dates for him to come and
open dates
and play with the orchestra.
That'd be great. It's really wild. I mean, it's something that Josie and I kind of attach to, and we try to get to as much as we can. We don't make every concert. We try to definitely make the local ones. And just come out and give it a shot. And if you like it, then you go to more. But don't just shut it off and say, it's symphony music. I don't like it.
And you can go on YouTube too and put in, Bay Atlantic Symphony.
Bay Atlantic Symphony.
You'll be able to
see some of
it.
Exactly.
You can see it on our website. All of the concerts are there. You can actually watch them again.
Right.
And I just think, it's something that a community like Vineland, well, all of South Jersey.
Yeah, anybody. Yeah.
There is a symphony in C that's up in Haddonfield, but that's not a fully professional symphony. This is a fully professional symphony.
Right.
Every person in the symphony gets paid as a professional musician. And they come from, we have a lot of people from the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Right. Yeah.
Jed works with the Peabody.
It's like a musician genius.
Well, no, it's out of the school in Baltimore, Johns Hopkins. And he's part of their music program there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he also is conductor for the West Virginia Orchestra.
Oh wow!
So he's got really three major positions.
And he's known outside of the area.
Yeah, that's why he can get the soloists that he gets.
Yeah, exactly. When do the concerts start in the
October
season?
21st
is the first.
Is the first one this year.
Right.
And then it's October. We have one in December for Christmas.
Right.
Then we have a January, a March, and a May.
And you double up on a lot of them, right? You play like one time at Stockton. And
always double.
And one time at Cumberland.
The Saturday afternoon is at Cumberland.
Right.
And Sunday afternoon is at Stockton.
Okay.
They're all matinees.
All right, good.
At 3 o'clock.
So I mean, you're not out at night. You can go see the symphony, go out to dinner, and have a great date night, and enjoy something that's probably a little bit out of your comfort zone, and yet enjoyable. And I think you'll be very, very impressed with the professionalism of the musicians, and the sound that they put out is astronomical. So I think everybody should definitely go out. And you don't have to buy season tickets. Just buy tickets and go when you see it. And I know we do advertising, and I know you're doing some fundraising. I think you backed it up a little bit.
We backed it. Well, your wife had an incredible idea, and I don't know whether I didn't. I had heard about it, a white party, and it's where people come you come in white.
Everybody dresses in white, and
then you have a dinner, but you don't know where you're going, and you provide your own
food
meal
and drink,
the tablecloths,
and everything.
So, it's really an interesting
concept.
They had one in Atlantic City this past summer,
right?
So we're looking at doing something in the spring, and then the orchestra has entertainment. We'll have entertainment there. So the location that we've got is incredible. So I'm not allowed to tell you what it is.
I know. Listen. I don't even ask my wife. I just said heck with it. All I know is whatever day it is, I gotta be there.
Right.
So that being said, look for those advertisements when they start advertising for their donations and their fundraisers, so that they can continue to bring professional symphony music not only to the community but to our children. So that they can have cultural experiences in school and possibly become a professional musician later in life, as whether it's a second job or whether it's just something that they like to do as a sideline. As a youngster, I made money, playing in a band, and they can do that. And modern music today uses symphonies in everything.
Yes.
So, I mean, when you look at some of these musicians and their concerts, go look when you see the horns and you see the wood instruments and the violins and everything and anything that they have in a band setting for a concert. It's amazing. So it's not just about symphony music, even though that's probably where it all started. For most of those people, they just found another outlet where they could make money and stay in music. So that being said, my wife is here, but we're not going to ask her to come in because she's a little bit
hey Josie
under the weather physically. She took a fall. So we did mention the other last week on another show that Jim does is the old-fashioned Christmas, and we'll get to that in a second, but we need to pay some bills, so we're going to take a quick break.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Complete Care has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville. We're here with convenient, high quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Advanced robotics, experienced physicians. When it comes to minimally invasive surgery, we don't play around.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. Paul Spinelli and Robert Dragota. And we just had a little session, about 20 minutes or so, talking about the Bay Atlantic Symphony. And again, just a reminder, if you give it a try and buy tickets to see a concert, you can see it local if you like, right at the Guarcini Center at Rowan, Cumberland campus.
In Stockton.
And Stockton, if you Stockton on Sunday.
I want you to know that if you can't go to I know you have season tickets.
Right.
So if you can't go, it's a good way to get somebody that you want to see it. Just give them their ticket. Give them your ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's a nice way to get.
Absolutely, rather than leave it empty.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly correct. Just a couple seconds. Talk about the old-fashioned Christmas environment. It's the first weekend in December. It's December 1st and 2nd. It's a Friday night from 5 o'clock to 9, and a Saturday from 12 o'clock to 7. Starts with the tree lighting at City Hall with the mayor, and there are some choirs, and Santa Claus is there, Jim Donovan from Channel 3. And from Philadelphia, he's the master of ceremonies. The Vineland Select Choir is singing there, along with a couple other choirs. We're honoring George Perez for his donation of the artwork that he did that is being used for the advertisement of the old-fashioned Christmas. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There are free horse and buggy rides. There are free trolley rides. There will be vendors on the avenue. There'll be some food trucks on the avenue. We don't load it up like the Food Truck Festival, but we have a couple out there so people can grab a bite to eat if they like. There are some choirs singing in front of the Old Amish Market that will be singing as well. And we actually have a national choir coming from the First Methodist Church on...
Which choir? Which church? Do you know?
The one on 7th and...
the 7th.
7th and Landis. And they will be singing, hopefully if the weather holds, out on the steps of the church so that everybody can hear them and see them. And this choir has been all over the country, and it has just been, it's amazing. And the church got them to come and sing. They asked us if we could incorporate it in our program, and so they are singing, and there's no charge for that as well.
That's interesting. What I wonder, what is it? A group? It's not all members from this church.
No, it's not. In fact, there probably are very few.
Haddonfield Methodist? Is it?
It is. I'm not sure. They're just nationally known.
Yeah, because I have been a member of the Methodist Church in Haddonfield. And there's an incredible choir there.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's part of the choir.
That I don't know. I know, but They actually
it's a
came.
100-voice choir.
Yes, it's huge, and
Wow,
they're coming
that's
down
really
and they're going to practice indoors naturally because they got room to do that inside the church, and they will sing Saturday afternoon. I think at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, that's a draw.
They will draw people
quite
from
a choir.
all over the place because they're very well known, and the Methodist Church is advertising as well. So you're going to see a lot of people out for that. So that's something else. We're hoping to have a Christmas movie, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's fire pits at nighttime that are lit. If it's cold during the day, they'll be lit as well. There'll be chairs around them and things of that nature if you just want to sit and relax.
Food?
You can buy some.
There will be food there.
There will be food trucks there. The restaurants during the day will be open. Some of them stay open at night. Cora stayed open and made it. They said they had a great night when they were open. The Indian restaurant now is doing well, so they may stay open as well.
That's good food.
Cilantro.
Good Indian food. Cilantro is great.
Is good, so they stayed open. So there's a lot of different things happening between the 500 block and East Avenue. So if you can make it out on both or one of those evenings or days, I think you're in for a real treat. Josie has a great committee of volunteers that help her get everything put together. The city actually plays a little bit part in it in that they make sure the flowers are up, the lights are up, the Christmas tree is decorated. John Lilly from the electric utility donates all the wood for the fireplaces and things of that nature. So there's a lot of people that have little pieces that help make it a really good event. So, and kudos to my wife because she puts more time than you know in it. And that being said, well, now we also have movies going on in Vineland. So we have a movie production studio being built, correct?
It's on its way.
Tell us a little bit, Robert. What you can. I know you can't say a lot.
I can't say a lot, but I will tell you that the zombie wedding film is in the can.
Okay.
It's been edited. I've seen the take of it. It's actually pretty funny, and it's now being peddled.
Okay.
So we've had an offer on it. I can't say
what it is or who,
but we haven't taken it because we think there are opportunities
better than that.
That are better.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wait and see. But I'm thinking, sometime, this fall we'll be able to announce, where it's going to be and who's going to see it and what, if it's a network or whether it's going to be in theaters or whatever.
All right. Now, when they buy it, do you have the opportunity to say, well, hey, listen, we can do a premiere somewhere?
Oh yeah, we'll do something here.
And
we'll
we could do something here.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do something either at the Landis or at college.
Or at the college. Yeah.
Or at the college.
I mean, I know the Landis is privately owned, and
he books. He
books a
we
lot
had to figure all that out.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but it would be great to have a
venue like that. That would be crazy.
We'll do a premiere there.
And the Landis Theater, it doesn't matter who owned it, whether the city owned it or whether the gentleman Ray owns it now. It is just such a great venue to be in. It has the old-fashioned front and the foyer
very
and the carpeting,
retro.
very retro, exactly. And it would be just a neat thing to do, like a red carpet thing.
Yeah. Well, they did a great job when they restored that.
Yes.
Laurie and Hans knew what what it should look like, and they did it. It really is. It's a beautiful facility.
Yes, it is, and quite frankly, Ray's done some different things with it. His upstairs is
I've been upstairs.
It's kind of like a nightclub.
It's fun.
It is fun to go to, and they always have music up there and different venues, whether it's Latin music or oldies music, or one night is a sing-along night, another night's a country night,
he had
another
a drag
night karaoke. He had a drag show up there, and I think he has something coming for the ladies. For a ladies' night,
Is he?
That he's having the male dancers or whatever.
Oh, there you go.
So,
are you going to be one?
No, that would be an ugly sight.
Maybe we'll get the mayor to do that.
No, that would be an uglier sight. Now, he can't dance. At least I can dance. But that being said, it's great that you guys did that. We appreciate it in the city of Vineland. I know we partnered in that a little bit. I don't know all the kudos to it and don't want to get involved, but the city tried to help it along, and it looks like it's going to be a winner, and that's a great thing. Josie and I were actually in it, which
you were,
was,
and you're still in it. You didn't get caught.
That's a good thing. You
didn't get caught. You're in the cemetery.
That's correct, and believe it or not, we had fun, but it's a lot of work, and we had minor parts. You just keep doing it over and over and over until they get what monotony. They want. It's monotony, and we were out in the rain.
Yeah, you were. But it looked
But it was such a great.
So great.
It was such a dreary looking scene.
It was perfect for a cemetery.
Yeah, and the lighting was astronomical. The way the shadows hit and things of that nature. It was really. They did a great job with it.
Did.
And with the studio, I know there are more movies coming.
We do. The strike has limited that at the moment. But JWoww has been here and she wants to do her film here. And we have other films. Weekly World News wants to do, the sequel.
Right.
So as soon as, things, you have to be careful now because of the strike. Right. So we're in support of the strike.
Sure.
And but the other thing is that I'm also working on a documentary about Seabrook.
Okay.
And so that film is pretty much in the can. We're going to be finishing the script writing on it, and there's a lot of support, local support, for that film. So, and it's a fascinating history.
Yeah, the history of Seabrook is
unbelievable.
I don't know it all. I know bits and pieces of it. But I know it is fascinating, and we actually had a conversation one night with some people talking about some of the stuff that, that Seabrook did, and how it all functioned, and
it's really world history.
Yes,
because this is part of a history of America, and the Japanese and what happened to them during Pearl Harbor. These were residents and citizens of the United States. Their houses were sold, their money was confiscated, and they had to move inland.
Right.
And then Seabrook, saw an opportunity to bring them onto the farms, because do you know that he, that whole company founded the fast freezing vegetables.
Yes, exactly.
And so it made it very much, there was a great advantage to that.
Sure.
Because the troops could have vegetables.
Fruit, vegetables. Yeah, exactly.
Really,
so, I mean,
amazing
company. I don't know how you market that. Is that a personal marketing thing that you're doing, or is
that's a festival thing.
Okay.
So that'll go around to world premiere festivals.
Right.
And Helga Meritz, who is the actual producer, I'm executive producer,
right.
But she's the actual hands-on producer, has award-winning films done, that have been entered all over the world.
Right.
So this is a film that will be shown, and I do think eventually PBS or someone like that will pick this up, because it's Ken Burns. Do you know Ken Burns?
No, I do not.
Ken Burns is the ultimate documentarian, and so his films have all been shown on PBS. And I remember him when he was in New York and was first starting out with the New York Film and Video Council. Right. That's a long time ago now, but Ken is sort of the preeminent documentary producer. And I think that there's a chance that this would be, well, it's definitely going to be, though there are Baltic film festivals around the world,
right?
And it will be entered in all the
right.
major festivals.
My cousin's a screenwriter. He's out in L.A. You know, we talk online. That's about it. When we see him, he comes home once in a blue moon, and I'm sure he's not working.
No, he's not working right now.
That's right. And
hopefully, I don't know. I thought it would be over by now, the strike.
Yeah, it's
but
been
I think,
really dragging on.
Well, a lot of it is because of this AI this artificial intelligence, and they have to nip it in the bud now.
Yes.
Because if they don't do that, God only knows what kind of world we're going to live in. Because you'll be able to just, through artificial intelligence, replicate everybody's personality,
exactly,
and their voice.
So I know he wrote his first couple films were documentaries. He lost a brother in 9/11, and he wrote Brothers of 9/11, and he went and talked to hundreds of people who had brothers that were lost, and put it into this documentary, and then eventually guy played Forrest Gump. I can't. What? He did The Amazing Crestman. He wrote a movie about Kreskin because he actually worked for Kreskin.
Ah, okay.
And he did that film was called The Amazing Buck something or other. I actually watched that one when it first came out. Then I watched Brothers of 9/11. That was heartbreaking because it was my cousin who passed. But it was sold. Who played Forrest Gump? Can't remember.
No.
Who played Forrest Gump? Can't remember. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. Colin Hanks is in it, and Tom Hanks bought the film, and then they put it in this one of the San Diego Fall Festival, whatever festivals and all that, and it won some awards. And then he wrote a couple other documentaries as well. So he did.
And
decent.
Is his last name Spinelli?
No, he's a McGinley.
McGinley.
I don't think
that
that's the
not
name.
Italian.
No, his father married into the family. But I think he uses a different name when he writes.
Ah, right.
So I don't know what reason that would be, but I get it. Again, Robert with his company, bringing a film company here, and they're looking to do more once the strike ends and things of that nature. And I believe you're leasing the market. And they're going to build a studio in there. And, so now we have another industry that was never here in the city of Vineland and in Cumberland County. And, they're using local people for the small roles and things of that nature. And they brought some big names in for the zombie movie. The gentleman that played Big Pussy in The Sopranos or whatever it was. So, and he was a pretty funny character.
Oh yeah, he's funny. Sherry O'Terry was really terrific.
Very good. I talked to him a lot while we were on the set, and it was really funny because somebody said something to him and he got mad at him, and he was like, "Are you going to straighten him out? You're Italian." So I just started laughing. And I said, "I'll take care of it later. I can't take care of it tonight." So, when you start thinking about it, we had nothing, and now we have a new industry coming here and a successful first film. I'm sure the next couple films will be successful as well, with the talent that's being brought in to produce them as well as act. So that's something we're looking at. You want to take a quick break here? All right, pay some more bills. Here we go, Jim. Make sure that you're going to say solve it.
At At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Are you just part of the crowd?
Do you feel isolated and alone?
Do you wish someone would see your gifts?
Would you like to be seen as an individual?
A person of value.
Full of life and purpose. Part of a family that cares?
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Complete Care has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here, just a call or email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Insight with Jim Quinn broadcasting. We have a little prop here. I don't know if we can zoom in on this, but we have the Bay Atlantic Symphony advertisement here for the year of 2024.
Season brochure.
Season brochure, and when all the concerts are, and looking at it, we had December 9 and 10, January 20 and 21, March 16 and 17, and again the first date is a Saturday afternoon in
October 21.
And October 21. Yes, and they are Saturdays, and the second dates that I read are Sundays. So if you can't make it at Rowan Cumberland campus at the Guarcini Center, you can make it at Stockton and go see absolutely fabulous symphony music with great professionals.
I think this year, some of my favorite symphonies. I mean, we're doing Dvorak. It's really a beautiful Schubert piano concerto,
right?
Which, of course, I wish I could play it.
I'm sure you can.
No, maybe with 6 years of practice. Saint-Saëns and Mendelssohn. I mean, it's really a great season. And then, this is all put together by Jed.
Right.
He really picks the seasons. And Tchaikovsky's Fifth is the first
one.
So you can't, it's great. It's a wonderful season.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, I can't stress enough, there's also the educational aspect of it where they go in and help kids and try to teach them, get them interested in music, and even teach them how to play some of the instruments. So it's a worthwhile venture to try to help. Why we got it, Vineland Rotary is a charity organization in Vineland that has been here over 100 years in the city of Vineland. It meets every Tuesday at 11:40 at Larry's 2 Diner, and that is their meeting date. So they have very interesting speakers during those meetings or during the week when they have them, and they do many activities in the community to help them. A lot of charity events, a lot of collecting food for the homeless, shipping it across seas, and things of that nature. I know they sent stuff to Africa with the rice stuff that they put together for the food. And so it's an international organization, and they internationally try to help people. So they have a lot of local stuff that goes on, and all the Rotarians that I know, and there are many, take part in other charities as well as Rotarians. The Ladies' Shelter they were involved in, the Lutheran Church they were involved in, and running the school over there for a while. So there's a lot of different things that go out there. And they also have fundraisers. So if you see a Rotary fundraiser, they're a 501c3. And you can donate to them. It's tax deductible, and Rotary needs money to stay abreast, to stay alive, and go out and do their charitable things that they do to help our community. And there are so many different organizations that do things that are fundraising, and that's the only way they stay afloat. So if you can give a $5 bill, you give it. I mean, every little bit helps. But if you can give a larger donation, it's appreciated. Always looking for new members. It's a very, very busy group. They try to get everybody involved. You can be as involved as you choose, but the more you participate, I think the more rewarding it becomes. Also, they have a back-to-school event where the club donates lunch boxes filled with school supplies to the kids of Vineland via Newfield Bank, who also helps and donates a lot as well. So these are the kind of things that are going on in our town that you need to know about, and that help a lot of your children. So be thankful, be grateful, and if you can help them in their fundraising effort, or if you want to become a member, please go out and do so. It's worthwhile. We're losing that urge to go out and do charity work. It used to be very, very common. JCs were alive. It was all charity work. The Exchange Club, it was alive. Today, we don't see those organizations anymore. They're not around here. They're still in other places, but they're not around here. And our youth need to go out and understand that if they want a quality of life, they got to go out and get it, and they got to help make it. So that's something that we also want to talk about. All right, I was going to, we got cut short a little bit, but the city of Vineland. The city of Vineland is actually moving forward quite well. Under this administration, we have probably fixed more roads and infrastructure than anybody. Perry Barcy was the last one that did really anything, and we have surpassed what he has done. Every road that gets fixed, the infrastructure is ripped up, and we put new piping in, whether it's water pipes, drainage pipes, and we're at the same time, every time we rip a road up, we put fiber in. So Vineland is striving eventually to become a smart city. And we're doing it in a way that doesn't cost us any more money because we already got the roads ripped up. So we are striving to get our own URL. I think in the very near future we're going to start putting that out, and we're going to test it out first in our industrial parks for our industrial businesses, because they would be the ones that probably could really make it work for them easier than just residential. And eventually residential will come into play as we make it grow throughout the city of Vineland. It has nothing to do with the county. And I know the county internet cable things that are going on, and they're getting pounded, whether it was a right decision or a wrong decision. I don't know enough about it to tell you, but we have nothing to do with them. We are well ahead of what they're doing. So you will eventually see Vineland become a smart city and have their own IP address, and it should save you money the way we're doing it. Our own utility actually will have a separate department because we will be using our utility lines and things of that nature to run it to the residential and business community. And so we will have professionals that actually can fix it without calling in Comcast or Verizon or any of those other things. So you will see that happening. As you can also see, if anybody's ridden by City Hall was falling apart. It was actually, the foundation was starting to separate. We brought in engineers. We got it kind of put back together. We repainted. We caulked everything. Everything's repainted. We put lighting in. We put new security in. The interior has been redone as well. The fifth floor where our business department is next to get done, as well as economic development. But the finance department is done. Downstairs customer service was redone. The health department was redone. And we also had the annex where we've now put our EMS and fire prevention and L&I department. So that building is being used as well. And what you will probably see coming up, the windows actually leak in City Hall. So we are setting up a plan to see what windows are going to cost, which is probably going to be very expensive, but maybe slowly replace them, from worst to best until we get them done. So we're really trying to make strides to make the city look better. We have a crew dedicated to our industrial parks and our Landis Avenue Main Street division to keep it clean, to keep the trash emptied, to keep the grass cut, to keep flowers looking like they're alive, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the city that people, I think, are starting to take notice of, but just look and start looking down even the west side of Landis Avenue, how much work is being done. And we are on stage 5, which will be from Main Road to 55, or Mill Road to 55, and that will get new infrastructure and new paving.
Well, I don't know whether people even, I drive down Landis Avenue all the time, and I don't know whether you've seen the Seward Johnson statue, the sculptures that are there, but they're pretty fascinating.
Oh, they are fascinating.
And if you haven't, you really need to take a ride, because in front of the Landis Theater is a trumpeter. And I'm sitting at the red light, and I'm thinking, what the heck is that guy doing?
I said the same thing.
And, Haddonfield has Seward Johnson sculptures. And it's really fascinating.
And I believe we have 6 of them out, which is the most of any municipality in South Jersey. We have the one where the sailor comes back and kisses his girlfriend.
That's in front of the
veterans thing.
Right.
We have the gentleman that's called Chase or something like that, where the guy gets his dog and is pointing to go out. Right in front of your the old Amish market.
Right.
And we have one that deals with a Spanish guitarist near one of the Spanish restaurants. So
in front of the wall.
Right, yeah, exactly.
It's great.
And the trumpeter, and believe it or not, I happened to be in Casey Ray's one day. They said, look at this guy. And I looked out the window and I said, what's he doing? And they just started laughing. And he says, you don't know? And I said, what are you talking? It's a statue. And they told me what was going on. And I said, you know what? I didn't even think about it. And people are stopping from all over.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to take their picture with these statues. And I actually had my grandchildren here and had them pose with each one of them.
That's great.
So they will have that. I sent it to my son, and
there's
the rest of their life.
There's a whole music program that goes around the statues.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be done. They're going to. I think Russell Swanson is doing this, and it'll be a concert at the Landis Theater. Right. I think it's going to be in the Landis. And it's music that evolves around the sculptures.
The sculptures.
Seward Johnson, he's gone now, but he was, part of the Johnson and Johnson family. And when I was in New York, I was on the board of the theater there, and Seward was part of that board.
Right.
And he was quite a character. He's an
sure.
amazing guy, but very talented.
Right.
And his statues
are so lifelike.
Oh yeah,
they're amazing. And we joked around, but they're also very heavy. So
they're not going to blow over.
That's right. They're not blowing over, and nobody's carrying them away, not by themselves. So again, culture being brought to the downtown. People really didn't even know what it was, but now they're taking pictures with this. And actually, a lot of people from outside of Vineland have come to take pictures with these statues. And so again, something different. Everybody that I've talked to said, wow, it's really neat, this, that, the other thing. Again, things that we're not used to seeing are starting to happen here. And we're doing everything we can to try to upgrade our living style in the city of Vineland. And it's hard because economically, unfortunately, Cumberland County is the poorest county in the state.
Yeah.
And but we're making strides, and people, I think, are starting to take notice. And I think it's starting to get better. We're starting to see industry come here, entertainment come here, and I think that's giving us an improved lifestyle.
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great night. Robert, thank you for coming and giving us insight on the symphony, on the movies, and on the statues, because I forgot about them, and you brought that up, so that was great.
That was really good.
We thank Jim for giving us the opportunity to come on and take care of business here and to promote the city of Vineland and Cumberland County.
I hope you're feeling better, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, get better. You're missed. I don't know if I can fill your shoes, but I'm doing my best. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a great night. For Robert, myself, Jim, and Anthony, have a great night.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.